Hey everyone, it's Melody with Design by Melody, and I'm here with the fourth and I'm pretty sure final layout using my Hip Kit Club January 2016 kit. Now my kit's kind of up there on the top left of the screen with the box and the alphas, but I had to pull out, since this is going to be a 12 by 12 layout, excuse me, I went ahead and pulled out a few Elle Studio products. I had a pile of embellishments that were just kind of sitting around from a previous project, so I went ahead and added a few of those stickers and puppy stickers, and then I pulled out these three 12 by 12 papers. This white and black paper with the hearts on it is going to be my background. I'm going to use a piece off of this sienna vellum, printed vellum with the words. That's going to be my title, or at least part of my title. And then I do have a cut apart sheet that I'm considering using part of it to embellish this layout, but I don't think it's actually going to make it on the final layout, but we shall see how this works out. So the very first thing I want to do is go ahead and trim up my papers. I know I want to use this wonderful sentiment, and what it actually says is wonderful memories I'll treasure forever, and I'm going to use that as part of my title. And I've kind of got a long title per se, but I'm just using for the sake of the video, I just have the title as Just the Girls, which is part of it, part of the title. So the whole thing that inspired this layout, I had these photos that my mom had given me that she had printed from our beach trip last year, and she had taken a couple pictures before we all left to go home with her camera, and she had brought her tripod and everything, and we had just posed for some pictures, and she had printed those for me. So I had a picture of my sisters and I and my mom. I had a picture of the whole family with our husbands and children, and then I have a picture of my mom with the grandsons, and then I have a picture, I guess I have four pictures, and then I have a picture of just like Ernest, Kaylin, and I, like our little family. So I had them sitting on my desk and I wanted to scrapbook them, and I saw this card that was left in the kit. That's the pink card with the journaling lines, and I liked the way that it looked with the photo, because this is just my sisters and I and my mom. So I thought it'd be nice to kind of have a layout with a little bit of pink on it. And I started looking at the products that I had kind of laid out on my desk or on my floor. I like to spread out my projects on the floor in my craft room so I can visually see which projects I'm working on. And this Elle Studio paper was sitting there, so I decided to go ahead and use that as the background. I just felt like it was really nice. It was a nice fit to have a girly layout without it just being a whole bunch of pink. And I felt that it was really kind of light and airy, considering these photos are taken while we are outside. So the very first thing, after I kind of cut down my papers and laid out just kind of the base of how my layout's going to go, is that I started working on my title. So I put out these Kaiser Craft, what are these? Kaiser Craft mini alpha stickers in black and white, and I absolutely love them. I need to get more of them. And I actually looked on, what did I look on Amazon the other day, and they don't have any, because I was placing an Amazon order anyway. So I was thinking, if they're fairly inexpensive, I could add them to my order, but they didn't have them, so I didn't order them. But I really like them. I've got a ton of use out of them, and I'm still going to get a ton of use out of them. It's just I have to be a little bit more creative with the letters I use, because it has upper and lowercase, and so sometimes I don't like to mix the upper and lowercase. So now my title, at this moment, my title reads, Wonderful Memories I'll Treasure Forever, Just the Girls. And since I had cut out the vellum piece, I just used my Tombow Mono multi-glue, the liquid glue, to dot behind the word wonderful, so you can't not actually see the adhesive. Now I have made a very interesting purchase that I keep talking about, and I'm really excited about it, so I will share it with you in a haul very soon. But I finally purchased a Tim Holtz tiny attacher. And I know that's crazy, because I've been talking about it forever and ever. And there's no particular reason why I had not purchased it yet. But I finally purchased one. So at the point that I was doing this layout, if I had had the tiny attacher, I could have actually stapled that on there. But I didn't have it, so I didn't use it, obviously. But that's kind of an instance where having that tiny attacher is very helpful. Now these circle alphas were in the kit, and I'm out of A's, but I needed an A to put the title, or the rest of my title, up here. So I just took my white gel pen and I made a V into an A by drawing the little line across, and you so cannot tell, like it looks just like it was part of the letters. And so what it says is, oh, so many wonderful memories I'll treasure forever, just the girls. So that is my full title, utilizing two different outfits and the vellum paper that I was cutting apart. Now that vellum paper is actually from their Seat in a Line, I believe. Yes. Now the background paper with the hearts on it, that's from Elle Studio Little Moments collection, and the paper is called All My Heart. So that's what I'm using as my background. So at this point, I kind of have the base of my layout set out. I've got this imaginary line that goes down the center of the page, and I'm using it to build my layout around. Now, for some reason, it doesn't look, well, it is centered, but because the photo is larger and like the journaling card is narrower, it doesn't look centered. It is centered, has that centered imaginary line, but the right side is much heavier than the left side. So I am going to do a little banner or a little cluster in the top left of the page to kind of make it feel a little bit more balanced. I used a puffy sticker from the Elle Studio, I think it's just called Black Puffy Stickers, or Everyday Labels, that's what it's called, in black, and it just says the story of today, and then I'm going to write a little bit of a story. Now there were these pink chipboard words from the kit, and I am going to add a few of them, but I don't know how I want to add them. The words that I picked out are family, goodness, and grateful, and I felt like that really worked well with the story. So I'm going to take a moment to write out my journaling. And my journaling just says, when we were younger, we used to go to the beach every year as a family. Then we took about a 10-year break, and that's as we got older, by the way. But now we are at it again, a little older with families, a little larger, but the fun is exactly the same. Our group has tripled, and so has the fun. Now I can't wait until next year. And sadly, we're not going to have a beach trip this year. It just didn't work out. And my mom is going to Belgium to visit my cousin, and for I think like a week and a half at the end of this month, September. And typically we either go to the beach in September or October, so it just didn't work out. But we will go again. There is no question about that. Now my mom, Ernest, Kaylin, and I went with my mom earlier this year, but it wasn't the full family. And we went to a different beach, but still, I love the beach. We were talking about that earlier this week, how it would just be nice to take a trip down there. And it's really not that far. I guess it's like an hour and a half, 2-hour drive from here, but unless you take off a day off of work, you really only end up spending one night at the beach, and it's really not worth going unless you're going to stay 2 nights. That way you can check into the hotel, change into your bathing suit, have a place to shower and everything after you go to the beach and all that. So we just need to plan to go because I absolutely love the beach. It gives me a different feel when I'm there. I'm much more relaxed. I'm much more appreciative of nature when I'm there because I just love the ocean. I could stare at it for hours. Like truly, I could stare at it for hours. So it puts me in a whole different mindset when I'm down there. And obviously I'm not working when I'm down there because I'm at the beach, but it just puts me in a whole different mindset. And I absolutely love the feeling that I get when I'm at the beach. So I've got my little cluster up here. I cut the little pink label off of one of the 3x4 cards that I had left, and that's actually the extra one because remember in my unboxing I had 2 of the same card. I was given an extra 3x4 card. So I cut the little pink label after that, and then I also cut the black glitter label off of one of the remaining paper clips, and I'm using that to layer up here at the top left. Trying to figure out what I'm going to do with these little pink chipboard words. I wanted a little bit of pink on the bottom right of the layout. I felt like it was a little blank. I felt like it just needed a little bit something more on the right side because I have all of my embellishments on the left side here. So what I'm going to do is I have all these little labels that I had punched out before and I needed another one. So I am punching out these little labels and I'm going to layer the little chipboard words on top of these labels, and then I'm going to put those on the layout now. So it's just a little white label that each of the chipboard words are going to sit on. But what it does is it just kind of gives them a grounding point so it doesn't look like they're floating, because that's what I was struggling with. They just looked like they were floating here down under the photo and had no rhyme or reason. They just kind of landed there. So having the labels for them to sit on really gives it a little bit more of a grounded feeling. It looks a little bit more purposeful instead of being quite so random. Also in the kit, I have these little wood veneer stars. which I so love. I wish I had little wood veneer hearts exactly the same as this. They came in 3 different sizes and they're just so cute and very dainty looking. And so I'm going to sprinkle those across the page in my little clustered areas, and I'm going to go ahead and glue those down with some Tombow Mono multi-glue adhesive. Multi-adhesive? It's not multi-glue adhesive because that's 2 words that are the same, but it's like Tombow Mono multi-adhesive, I think. But I find that it's really helpful to use for the little wood veneer pieces. Now, I don't know what I was struggling, and you're going to see me struggle. I left it in, I didn't cut it out of the video, but I'm struggling with my fingernails. I feel like they're getting a little too long, and so I'm struggling picking up the wood veneer, and they're also so tiny anyways that it's just hard for me to pick them up and maneuver them. So it's going to take me just a moment to get these glued down. But I feel like the wood veneer really kind of adds just a little bit more of a finishing touch to the layout. And I have got them in a cluster of 3 up here at the top near my banners. I have 3 down there at the bottom right by my little chipboard words. And then I do have, I'm going to add 3 more down here by my title. And I feel like that really kind of finishes off the layout. Now I have my little, I have one of those chipboard words that I just glued down. It was the last one that I glued down to the right side of the photo. At first I had thought about layering it on top of the photo, but I just didn't like how it broke up the color of the photo with nothing else layering on top of the photo, so I moved it off to the side of the photo. There is one more little thing that I am going to add. I'm going to look through my stickers here, my Elle Studio stickers, and from that Sienna, like little, I guess it's like 6x6 sticker sheet or 6x5 sticker sheet here. I have 2 of them. There's a word that says love, and I'm going to layer that. It's kind of like a gray typewriter font, and I'm going to layer that at the top left on top of my banners. Now, since it's layering on top of a glitter banner, it does need to have a little bit of Tombow Mono multi-glue underneath of it so it actually sticks. But that is actually going to be the end of that up here at the top left. And then I'm going to pull out one final little heart to bring in that brighter pink color down here to the bottom right of the layout and just layer it on the side of one of the banners that was a little bit too large for the pink chipboard word anyways. And that finishes out this layout. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. It's a nice mix of products between the kit, what was left in the kit, as well as bringing in a couple different fresher products that I had in my stash from Elle Studio. So I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I will be back shortly with, I think, a Kill a Kit video for this kit because I think I'm done with it, but we'll see. Maybe I'll be able to make something else. All right, guys, thank you so much. Bye.